Okay guys, so we've gotten our ice cream. Unfortunately, due to camera challenges, we couldn't record that part.
No.
But
Technical glitches.
Yeah, technical. But so we are on our way back, and we promised that we're going to talk about one very important issue, which is vaginal birth versus cesarean. Which one makes you more of a mother? None. Okay, none. As you see mothers walking about on Mother's Day, does anybody give mothers awards for, oh, you pushed out your baby, so here you go, here's your award, here's your UN award.
Medals for suffering.
But it's really sad how women, and it's always women, it's women who make you feel like, so far nobody has made me feel that way, but make you feel like you didn't push out your baby, so you haven't done anything.
You're lazy.
First of all, if you gave birth via C-section or you gave birth vaginally or the natural way, as they say, you all have sleepless nights. Nobody exempt from sleepless nights. You all have worries and anxiety about the fact that are you raising your child right? Is your child getting all the nutrients? Like, you all have the same, in quote unquote, problems or worries or anxiety. So I don't see why some women are so hell-bent on vaginal delivery. Yesterday I saw a post on Instagram that when I read the comments underneath it, someone said that a man, and apparently the men need education about this, because a man lost his wife and child because the doctor said that with the situation that was going on, the wife needed to have a cesarean, and he was against it. He was like, no, you have to be a woman and push. Woman died, baby died. So what was the point? The point is healthy baby, healthy mother. And if somebody didn't come up, if God didn't give the wisdom to somebody to come up in the cesarean section, we would have, probably I would have died because of the situation, or my baby would have died. My baby wouldn't have survived, I would have survived. So we need to stop making women feel like you are not a mother because you didn't push your child out. Another friend of mine who had a cesarean said to me that some older woman was asking her, say, she asked her something, she was like, oh, she had a C, and she was like, auntie, wow. And she was like, what do you mean by I didn't give birth? She was like, and say yeah, auntie, wow. Like, what do you mean by you didn't give birth? Because
it's really strange to me how people decide they want to like categorize people who have had C-sections or had vaginal births. I told you, like, I had someone tell me that, oh, like, the person asked me, how did I have the baby? And I said, oh, she came by a C-section. And the person told me, oh, then you're lazy. You didn't feel the birth. That's what the person told me. The person told me I didn't feel the birth because
when she was telling me this earlier on, like, I was shocked. Like, I literally had my mouth.
And this is someone she actually knows as well. So the person said that, and then I had to walk away because I was so upset and so annoyed. I didn't understand where that kind of thinking would come from.
Yeah.
So the person said it, and I was like, but she's here. And I had to go and think about it. You know what? I carried my child for 9 months. After the 9 months, however she got here, she got here. I was the one who was doing the sleepless nights. I was the one who's fed her, and by God's grace, she's now 2 years old. She's doing really well. She's very happy. Everyone can see. Everyone who knows my daughter has heard her. She's very loud, very, very loud. So
adorable.
It's never a case. It used to bother me. It doesn't anymore, because personally, when I had the C-section, in the place where I had it, because I was going to be breastfeeding my child, I was only given ibuprofen and paracetamol for the pain. So I was very, very, very much in pain. Like, sometimes when I even think about the pain, I wince. I have no idea. They should be, right? They look like they would be, because they get it directly from
I'm wondering if I should
the eastern region.
Should I? But I've gone past it.
And the sponsors were at the back. But they should be cheaper here. Sorry, guys. They should be cheaper here. But they look nice.
Should I turn
the
at the
yams are
goal?
small.
But that means we have to get out of the
I don't feel like getting down. Sorry.
car.
I don't feel like getting down. But this is Amazon.
Oh, guys, sorry. Okay, back.
Sorry.
We are back.
Can take the mom out of the house, but clearly.
Tomatoes are in season, so I'm
Yes.
always looking for somewhere that I can stop and ask how much they are selling this.
Yeah, they've actually got it a lot cheaper than
Last
they
time I got
used
some
to
for 20 cities.
for a bucket.
And my mom,
Where?
on the road to your church, my mom got some. She managed to get it for 15 cities. A woman said that the week before, they were selling it for 10 cities.
For a bucket.
For a packet.
Where is this place?
I know she was trying to
Sorry.
show me, but I couldn't.
Next time she's there, tell her to send you a Google location. Like she should send you a location through WhatsApp or something. So anyway, I think a lot of people need to understand that the most important thing about that kind of thing is if you go in, you come back, your baby is healthy and safe. You are healthy and safe. It's the most important thing, and it's the easiest thing to think that there are no medals for suffering.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to remember that
And
you
don't
don't
berate people for taking epidurals. That's also another story for another day. Who make you feel like, why do you take an epidural? You have to suffer through it. Why was
you never
Panadol
see,
made?
you
Like,
never
why?
see, yeah, you never see a human being sitting there and go, oh, did you have your baby? Did you suffer? Oh, then you're not a real woman. That's not the point. In fact, the having the baby is actually the starting point of so much more, and it's really sad that people still think that kind of way. I really think that people need to start to have better conversations. Better conversations. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, but
Richie, she's sorry. But people need to have better conversations about this kind of thing. You don't go into a labor ward, you don't go into a labor ward thinking, you know what, however it is, this is what I want. There's a reason why the doctor went to school for 7+ years, because they know your body better than you. You know how it functions, but they know your body better than you. I'm not saying this is something that's this thing. If you feel like, if you have the choice and they are telling you you can either have this, the way you bring the baby into this world should be the best decision for the both of you. Because if you have narrower hips and the baby is big and they are telling you that this thing, if you push, you'll be in trouble, and you decide that because you want everyone to know that you push the baby, you are going to push this baby, and then it causes you problems, who you help? Because the work afterwards, you need your body to be in a situation where it's working. So if you have complications afterwards because you're not doing the right thing, or nobody is more of a mom or less of a mom.
Nobody should have to explain why
No.
they had a CS.
And I think that's also there. Like, I realized that in the beginning when I did have my CS, whenever I would say CS, I would always follow on with because and it was like, at this point it's like, I did have a CS. My husband was okay with it. I am okay with it. By God's grace, we ended up having a really okay recovery. My recovery was really difficult, but actually not bad. Getting through it, every day was one day at a time. You get better, you get better, you get better. By the time you realize it's behind you, you have the scar, that is it. If it is because of having a scar in a place that nobody is supposed to see anyway, well,
Yeah, no,
people are not
yeah.
supposed to see it. If you think that scar mars your body, I actually think that it's a sign of your strength. Like, you carry
CS recovery is not easy.
listen. That one there, that story there. Listen, whatever it is, as long as you're healthy, as long as you do what the doctor tells you, take care of your body, all that kind of stuff. The most important thing.
And honestly, I think that it's okay. I mean, I remember before I gave birth, I went to church one day and there was a group and we were talking, and then some lady was like, oh, but when you have a cesarean, your body is never the same again.
Your body is never the same.
I don't know how that
Period
came out, because I guess I was pregnant and suddenly we're talking about delivery. Like, it was a group of like 7 or 8 of us, both male and female. She was talking about how but why would you want to go for a CS? Because like your womb will never be the same again, because they'll cut your womb. So
the only
you cut
thing,
something open and you stitch it together, it's never the same again.
God
like,
made
but what
our
are you using it
bodies.
for?
God made our bodies very miraculous. Me, the only thing the midwife told me is that it will be fine. All I have to do is make sure that I space my child within 2 years of my children between 2 years of each other, so that my body has a chance to recover properly. Because in as much as the outside will seal, the inside also has to have a lot of healing.
That was one thing I didn't know, that like you think that they're only cutting in your mind, it's just your, like if I show your stomach that they're cutting, but there's also the slit that you have to make in your womb.
Yes.
And then sew that together, so that also has to like
has to heal. So that's the only thing that,
so there are 2 things that need to heal.
Yes.
That layer and then the one you can see.
And my other aunt, who is a doctor, said and there's also this misconception that if you have a cesarean birth, you can't have a vaginal birth after. And but
I don't plan on me. I'll say now, I don't plan on it. Like, if I find out I'm pregnant, when I go for my first antenatal, like, book me for a cesarean. Like, personally, I don't see why I should, like, I might as well just have a cesarean again and get over with. Like, with how I dealt with the aftermath of that labor pain, going through that labor pain and then ending up with a cesarean, I'm scared to have to go through it again, and then you go through all that pain again, and then go and do a CS again. So I must as well just opt for the CS. When I get there, remove my baby and let me go.
No, it's a
the recovery will be painful as hell. I don't know how vaginal recovery
what
is.
To expect.
Yes. So why go through labor pain? Like, that's just me, and I know some people will probably berate me for it. Like, people have their opinions, and if you want to come and leave a negative comment, that's on you and your God. But and I have another friend who said the same thing, so I know that I'm not the only one who feels that way. Like, if you go through all that traumatic pain, and then
it's
in
really
the long
difficult.
run it ends up with where am I going? Here.
Yeah, just it's fine.
Okay.
That place goes to focus into the highway. So to me, the recovery was more difficult for me. I didn't even care about the scars. If you had a good childhood, you have scars. So, no, I honestly think if you had a good childhood, you have scars that show that you did have a good childhood. You climbed this tree, you fell into some hole, dog chased you, something. So the scar wasn't the thing that bothered me. To me, I didn't know anything about recovery. So I literally had to depend on my mom. My mom is the person who did everything. Like, in the first week especially, she's fed the baby, bathed the baby, everything, because I was pretty much useless. I was in so much pain. Sometimes I was in so much pain, it would be because I forgot to take my medicine. And my mom would have to remind me, now take your medicine and feel better so you can get like to a point where you can take care of her. Because if I have to go to work, you'll be in the house with her. You can't afford to be sick. She needs things. She's only a week old. So I had to remember every couple of hours to take my medicine, make sure I took care of myself. But because I know what to expect, and even up until I didn't even know I was having a C-section up until the week before I had my baby. It was the consultant came out to tell me that my baby was breech. She never ever turned. Her body never turned. So her head was under my ribs. She never turned. So she's like, we could try and turn her, but because of certain other issues, it doesn't make sense, and it will be very dangerous for her. So we'll have the C-section and we will remove her. And I was like, fine. I called my husband. I told him. He's like, as long as you're fine with it, then I'm okay with it. And that's what happened. Please don't let anybody sit there and make that miraculous body. If that person who told you has not, then I'm talking to you when like the men come and bring their 2 cents in it. If he has not carried a child before, take what he's saying with a pinch of salt.
And the women that will go through labor, I've seen this
Don't
before,
listen.
who go through labor and they're calling for epidural, and the husband's like, no, you can't do this. Are you feeling the pain with
that
me?
one is between the two of you. Oh.
Like, you're not feeling the pain with her. So
No.
if she is the one going through it, and you can see with your eyes that Chale, that thing is not going on well, and you're like, no pain relief for you. I feel like you're just like allowing your wife to suffer, and I don't think that's fine, honestly.
Well, media, that's between the two of you, but you, the woman, you know yourself. So make sure when you're going there, you know yourself. You may think that maybe as a first time mom, you don't understand your body like you should. You know yourself, and if you don't, and you have listened to this and you're a Christian, God, my auntie told me something that really helped me. She said, God, when you have a child in you, God is closer than you think. So every single thing you want for the child, you'd have to tell God. So tell God everything that you think is silly to ask for. Ask for it. So God, I want the baby to be this. I want her hands to be this. I want this to be that. You'll be surprised. Because I remember that when I was pregnant, I kept on saying that the baby should act like me and look like the dad. Ask her what happened. That is exactly what happened. My daughter looks just like my husband. Like the two of them are standing there and they look like twins. But when she starts to move, you see me. That's exactly what happened. So just tell God and rely on God for what you want. If things don't go according to your plan, I read something the other day that says you should be so confident in God that when things don't go according to the plan that you have set, you are even excited because you know God is going to do a good thing. So I just think that no birth is better than the others.
Yeah.
Some of them, maybe everybody recovers differently.
Yeah.
But I think the essential point we're trying to make is don't feel bad because yours was different from someone else.
And if you have the mindset of the fact that if you didn't push your baby, then you haven't done anything. If you didn't push your baby out, you're not a mother. You really need to renew your mind. It doesn't make any sense. So are you really trying to tell me that as you've been walking around and you are holding your baby, you're having sleepless nights, your baby runs to you and loves you, you're not a mother just because you didn't push out your baby? Come on. And the men who have that mindset, the other women who have not even given birth, who have that mindset, please,
you don't know what to happen.
Your mind.
You don't know what to happen.
Mother is mother. Please renew your mind. Because that's
that cry is not even giving birth. Cry that makes you mad. It's not. So don't sit there and think that somebody has to come and tell. And I'm media. Hey,
Ghana Road.
And I'm media. I push for this. And I'm here.
And sometimes, I see some people like
you don't get medals for suffering.
I feel like sometimes people, like, I'm not judging anyone, but like when I see people, if I say write testimonies that and they didn't think it was possible, but I labored and I'm like, why do you want to labor for 22 hours? Like maybe, especially if they are saying that you know something, like
and also trust your doctor like, sometimes. If you're in a good hospital,
like I want to do this. I want to do this. Right now, as you're walking over here, you're walking by the sheet. As I'm sitting here, will I know that hey, she did well, she labored and 32 hours, and finally the baby came? Nobody's going to give you that award. When your children grow up, yes, they will appreciate you for everything that you did for them. But I don't think that portion of you trying to labor for hours on end is going to be the main thing that they're going to be celebrating.
At the end of the day, God is not going to ask
you.
God is not going to ask you how you had the baby. So what did you do for your child? Like, what kind of mom were you? What kind of person were you? Did you love the child? Did you instill values and discipline and all that kind? God is not asking you to. So why did you push, or why did you have the doctor take it out? No. So just be okay. You are fine. You are a mom. Your baby is healthy. By God's grace, you will come out of the labor ward. You are okay. Nothing is more important than your life and the baby's life in that moment. It is really scary to go and have a baby, especially when you've been and come back. When you are even thinking about doing it again, it's on a different level.
Yeah.
So if you've been able to go, come back, and glory to God, you've had the baby. What someone has to say about the way you had the baby is not your problem.
Yeah.
the work that you have to do, crash shouldn't even let you like listen to it. Just you did the work. You had the baby. You were vomiting. If you also didn't vomit, you were feeling sick. If you didn't feel sick, and by God's grace you had a great pregnancy, that was also work, because you are literally carrying a bag of sand in front of you. It's work. So nobody can tell you that 1 year Jumano.
Yeah. All right, guys. So it's been fun. It's been a fun road trip. It's been so nice talking with you guys and bringing you along with us. So if you want to see Vanessa again on this channel, make sure you comment down below and just say, please bring Vanessa back on this channel, and we will do another video again, and it will probably be a vlog again. 2 months in a car. So I will see you in my next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.